Hello and welcome to the Gamecentral podcast, episode number 33. And for a change, we have some stability because once again with us this week we have Don Goss. How you doing, Don?
I'm good, thanks. Doing good.
Have you got your TV up on the wall yet, or on the stand?
I'm happy to report TV is active. TV's go, TV's on a stand, and it works. It's nice.
On a stand. Isn't that a bit of a balancing act?
No, it's only on one stand and its own stand. I added an extra stand in there just to show off. But
you actually...
That's how people show off.
Yeah, the more stands.
Don't you know that, Gareth? Down in London, it's like the women really love a guy that can really utilise different stands.
Yeah.
And we all have standoffs where we go around to each other's houses and we just say, oh, that's really good, you can improve it there, or you can do that, or you can do this. Is it a glass stand?
No, I've got a wooden stand, then I've got a soundstage stand, and then the actual TV stand. So
you can't basically see it?
I'm rocking the triple stand.
Is more stands better than like one really good stand?
No, because they're all really good stands.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't think I could compete with that.
I'm not sure anyone can, to be honest. I'm a pretty brave man who takes this stand collection on.
Do you think anyone would stand against you?
They could try, but they would fail.
Excellent. So, Gareth, what have you been up to this week?
Not a whole lot, to be honest. I had a pretty boring week. It's always nice.
Always nice to have a boring week. What about me? Well, I haven't done anything in particular. Started my new job the other day. It's quite nice. No children about at the moment because they haven't started. But it's just a new start in life for all of us, isn't it?
Yes, especially you.
Thank you very much. So, on to the news. Well, last week there was so much news that we pretty much dedicated a whole show to it. This week, not bad either, is it? These leaked naked photos of celebrities, Don. Because that is to do with technology, isn't it? It's to do with the iCloud.
It was all in that secure iCloud that everyone has known to be so secure. It's like Fort Knox.
Yeah, but
Everyone
not.
knew about that.
You know,
But now it's like Fort Knock One Out.
There you go. Those sort of pictures we should never ever have to gaze upon. You know, part of the whole fantasy of a celebrity is that, you know, you never see them in those kind of situations and you always imagine what their snatch looks like. And it's all lovely and glistening and there's maybe a rainbow coming out of it and all kind of glitter. But when you just look at the vagina, it's just a vagina. And it probably feels like every other vagina that you've ever been in.
That's why I've not looked at these pictures, Rob. And if I'm honest, the only time I want to see Jennifer Lawrence completely naked is when she, of her own free will, strips off in front of me. Which will happen someday. So, I'm looking forward to that. It's good.
Brilliant. Gareth, I applaud you for not looking at them as well.
Thank you. It was surprisingly easy to not look at somebody's naked body.
Exactly. Right, Mario Kart 8 to add new Zelda content. And who else, Gareth? No, sorry, let Don do this because he's really up on Mario Kart, isn't he?
Yeah, they're adding a bunch of cool shit to Mario Kart 8. So they've announced cool shit. They've announced 2 packs, each coming with
2-pack.
2-pack. Oh my god.
2-pack Zelda.
If he was in
and
it, they could put him in the Mercedes DLC they've already added, leaning out the window as he drives around, one-handed, elbow out. That would be brilliant.
New item is just a drive-by.
Yeah,
Too soon, Gareth. Too soon. Right. So who else is going to be joining Zelda? No, it's not Zelda. It's Link. Sorry.
Link from Zelda. They're adding a villager from Animal Crossing, Cat Peach from Mario 3D Land. They're adding Dry Bones Bowser, which is basically Bowser's skeleton.
Can I just say?
What?
My bone is definitely.
Oh
right.
God! Why did I? I knew that was going to happen.
That's what she said. Colour Joshi, which is racist, and Shy Guy Skin, so that's Guy Whitlock. That's going along with his long arms dragging behind him in the car.
That works quite well.
Thank you.
Yes, and also Mario in his cat outfit. But the main
Tanuki, isn't he? Not a cat.
Tanuki. It's him in a cat uniform with his cat skills. But it's called Nookie Mario or something like that.
It's all about the Nookie. You like that song, don't you, Gareth? Because you used to like metal.
I used to like Nookie as well.
Yeah. Used to. We'll get into your private life later.
Oh dear.
The best part, though, obviously, there's 8 more.
From
vehicles.
iCloud.
Yeah. We'll look through your cloud photos and we'll
It'll probably be really boring.
If you like pictures of burgers I have eaten, then you will be well impressed.
Burgers and hair, I imagine.
Loads of it everywhere.
Oh dear. Yeah. So there's also 8 vehicles coming. So that'll be nice, including the Blue Falcon from F-Zero. They're releasing, best of all though, is 8 new tracks for each of the packs. There's a total of 16 new tracks coming. So that's an extra 50% of tracks on top of the original content, which is a bargain. You can buy the whole 2 sets together for a total of 11 of your English pounds.
That's really good. And that is good timing as well, Don, because I've said before that normally this sort of DLC comes about 10 years after the game's been released.
Yeah.
So this is exactly the right time where people might start thinking, oh, there are no more tracks for me to play.
Well,
then they go, here, there you go.
They don't come out now.
No, well, the first set's out in November.
Oh, great.
So not too long to wait, to be honest. And then the second set is out next year. In May, I think.
Yeah, May.
Something around there. So there's a bit of a wait, but it does keep Mario Kart 8 in the news. Obviously, it's been Nintendo's big success story so far for the Wii U, and it also helps to cover over the fact they had that horrendous actual Mercedes tie-in DLC just the other week, which everyone absolutely hated.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't fit into the whole Nintendo sort of.
Nah, I mean it was completely free. It was completely free DLC and totally optional. But it just was a bit like Nintendo kind of selling out, but they need the money, I suppose, nowadays. So that's a lie. They don't need the money at all. But it's they are branching out now. They're doing new shit and they're doing DLC the right way by the look of it.
Thank you very much, Don.
Thanks very much.
The annoying thing is this news came out like an hour after we stopped
Literally
recording
an hour.
last week. So
that's old news by now.
It's pretty old news, yeah. But like the funny thing is, like I imagine people going online like in November, like, yeah, I finally get to play as Link. I get to be in an F-Zero car, and then every race will just be Link in an F-Zero car.
It will be 12 Links in F-Zero cars.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it'll be.
Well, the future's looking very bleak. Right, GTA Online will soon be unplayable for users with a 12GB PlayStation 3, Rockstar has confirmed. Gareth, is this nice? Is this horrible from Rockstar?
It's not ideal, is it?
Who has 12GB of anything anymore? Even my phone has 16GB.
Well, your phone isn't a PS3.
How do you know?
Okay, well, you've got me there. So,
exactly.
So now I feel pretty silly.
You do. But what we're saying, Gareth, is, 12GB, nowadays, who's got 12GB? 12GB is like saying, I use a floppy disk to save my games on. 12GB is nothing. That's not even a game.
Yeah, but there are PS3s with 12GB hard drives that are very cheap. So if somebody's thought, GTA 5's coming out, I'll buy a cheap PS3 and I'll get GTA 5. Now they can't play GTA Online because the updates come to more than 12GB.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah,
there was like 4GB Xbox 360s as well. They're still
arcade.
They're still the arcade version. Yeah, they're still floating around
with the little memory card.
Just 4 gigs in the thing.
No, that was 12 megabytes or something stupid. Those memory cards. Do you remember the arcades? And they didn't have a hard drive, and they just had that little memory card. I think it was 126 megabytes. Something stupid. I had it, and I couldn't even download an arcade game onto it. And I just thought, what is the point in this? But GTA 5 is a big chunk. I think the install of the game's about 8 gig, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and with everything on top, it's not looking good if you've got a 12 gig. But what I'll say to them, Gareth, is you can easily install a hard drive or get an external hard drive.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's an easily solved problem, but a problem is still a problem.
A problem is still a problem. Gone Home is now confirmed for the Nintendo Wii. Gone Home is a kind of, I'd say it's probably where Silent Hills, that is it PK?
PT.
PT, sorry. PT got its inspiration from, because it's very much story-led, slowly uncovering the plot. I didn't play it myself, but someone who did, Gareth Williams, because he's got a PC, will tell us what it's all about.
I didn't play it.
You did, Gareth.
Because it looked scary. And even though everybody who played the game said it's not scary, you just play it, it's not scary, I said,
sinister.
You might be lying, so I'm not going to play it in case it's scary.
Do you know what's scary to me, Gareth?
What's that?
Someone that continues to play a game for months, even though they're on bronze.
And they never ever stop.
Yeah, that is scary.
That's what kind of like a psychopath would do. Just continually repeat the same actions, expecting to get a different result.
Yeah, when they're doing like a psychoanalysis of you, they go, "Oh yeah, it all makes sense now why this guy killed all those people. Look at his League of Legends account. He was prone to erratic behaviour." Sorry, Gareth.
Either way, Gone Home was widely regarded as one of the best games of last year.
Thank you.
So if you have a Wii U, something to be excited by, something to look forward to, Don. Other than Mario Kart DLC, Nintendo saying, "Give us more money and we'll give you what you really want." Now you have another reason to own a Wii U.
That's excellent.
A game that came out a year ago.
Yep.
On PC for probably what will end up being half the price that you pay for it on the Wii U.
Sweet.
So, Nintendo 3DS revealed with extra buttons and amiibo support. Now, this looks like the sort of 3DS that I would get if I was to ever get a 3DS. I did have a 3DS early on in the day, but I swapped it for a PS Vita, which I love. But it's a very good console. But this analog stick, the second analog stick, looks more like some sort of growth or someone that's got a third nipple. It doesn't scream sexy to me.
I'd call it a nubbin.
Mm.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Z stick was it the Z stick on the GameCube controller?
C-stick.
C-stick, sorry.
Yeah.
The C-stick that kind of didn't look like it was supposed to be there. It looked like an afterthought, and it didn't feel sexy to use. And I don't know, because this looks like it's smaller than the actual face buttons. So I can't see... Is it an analog stick?
Yeah, apparently, but it is a very weird, tiny little shape.
I think you'd have to have thumb surgery to make your thumb really small.
I mean, yeah, so I suppose they've not implemented a full second one, because they could have just moved the face buttons down and rearranged that.
Yeah.
And then had more space for a full-sized stick, the same as the one on the left. But
apart from Resident Evil Revelations and Monster Hunter, there isn't any real games that utilise the second stick. And this is where Gareth's going to come and say, actually, there's a few games in development now because of it.
Well, I was going to say Smash Bros. On the GameCube controller, you can map the C-stick to automatically do smash attacks.
Oh my god.
But
why are you saying yes?
Only scumbags do that.
Yeah,
with
like
no
Dom.
skill. Like
totally what I would do.
Guy would exploit that.
So that's probably why they added it, because Smash Bros. Coming out, some noobs need the C-stick or an equivalent, so they give them this little noob nub.
Well, also it's been released with a port of the Wii games, Xenoblade Chronicles, so that's being supported straight away, so I reckon they'll actually utilise that little nubbin.
Well, you said it best, Don.
For Xenoblade.
So.
But the thing is, I'm not being rude, but Nintendo consoles, especially their handheld ones, the last iteration of them always seems like what they should have just done in the first place. Like, if you look at the DS, the very first DS, it looked like some kind of joke that they did for a laugh and then put out to see if anyone would buy it. I remember when I first held it and looked at it and thought, oh my god, what is this? It's awful. But it sold, obviously. But then when they released the DS Lite, you thought, hang on a minute, this is what they were thinking about all along.
Yeah, that's when I bought one.
Yeah, because that thing, I don't know if either of you actually held the original DS, but it was like
I own one.
Oh, God.
There's a great system.
It's tied
so
up
many great games.
It's not allowed.
No, I mean the first model of the DS, the plastic hunk thing.
Yeah.
The grey, silvery grey,
that's alright.
weird angular thing.
Mate, come on, that is pure tack. It doesn't feel like quality. The
I-
screens are really dull.
I admit the Lite is a fantastic piece of kit,
Thank you.
but that original one, when it was still new, it was fine. The
Yeah, it was
screens
fine,
worked.
but it didn't scream at you, this is the future.
Well, the games on it, it kind of was the future, though. It set up pretty much everything to come. It set up the Vita. So...
It was like something you would buy in the early learning centre. Yeah, but the Vita, when you hold it, it's like holding sex in your hand. Whereas the original DS, it looked like something that, it was the inbred child that was released before the handsome young lad that came after.
It's not about looks, though, Don. It's about personality. It's about what's on the inside. What did I say?
Don.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, Don.
Apologise to me. Why is it offensive to Don? Right. Super Smash Bros. Has added Shulk, which, Don, do your joke.
Is that She-Hulk?
We're getting some really good jokes coming through on this podcast every week. And as long as we carry it on, that'll be brilliant. But I don't really know anything about Shulk.
It's a character from Xenoblade, but I think we covered this last week.
Yeah, I think we
Because I
did.
thought
It's
it was,
Gareth for you, isn't it? Because you've done that joke.
I did the same joke. In fact, we should
Remember,
probably...
we're not ones to shy away from a repetitive joke.
No.
Right, Super Meat Boy
Whoa,
Forever has...
whoa.
Oh, I thought we'd done this last week, Gareth.
No. So here's what happened last week, right?
Oh, okay, it's an update rather than a news story.
Is all those leaks came out, allegedly revealing a massive 48 character select page, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is probably not real." But then, like a few days later, Nintendo announced Shulk was going to be in the game, and he was one of the characters on this maybe fake character select screen. So now everyone's just thinking those leaks last week were actually legit. So if that's true, then
we are in for a treat.
yeah, 48 characters may be the actual final number, which means we may get to play as the dog from Duck Hunt.
I love that game. Gareth, if I was to tell you that I could either leak pictures of various attractive celebrities, A-list celebrities, or the roster of Super Smash Brothers, which one would you have chose? I know we've got both, but which one would you go for?
What in the incarnations we got pictures of Jennifer Lawrence naked,
Yeah,
and we got like a candid one photo of the character select screen. We had to choose between those.
yeah. And I mean a full frontal Jennifer Lawrence.
Full frontal character select screen.
Yeah, I'd probably pick
it's
Jennifer
tough.
Lawrence. Because
No,
the thing
you
is,
wouldn't. You're just trying to say that to look cool.
no, because the thing is that game will come out eventually, but
Yeah.
But you'll never see Jennifer Lawrence naked.
That's a sad realisation, isn't it?
No, it's fine. You don't have to see everybody naked.
Exactly, which is why I didn't look at those pictures.
Yeah, me either.
Mate.
And I never will.
Oh, yes. Super Meat Boy Forever has been announced by Team Meat. So, is this going to be like Duke Nukem Forever?
No. Definitely
Why is that?
not. Well, for one, this will actually be good. Because Team Meat make nothing but good games. Super Meat Boy is one of the best games ever made. I would go out on a limb to say it's alright.
It's
We're
alright.
going to have an argument here.
Isn't this one, though, isn't Meat Boy Forever a kind of endless runner type game?
Yeah, it's more like a...
It's an awful concept for any game.
Oh, so is it more like an iOS piece of crap?
It is coming out for tablets and PC.
There you go. It's written off straight away.
Why?
Because anything you can run on a fucking iPhone is a piece of shit.
iPhones aren't tablets, Don. They're phones.
Same thing. They're all running iOS.
No tablets run iOS, apart from iPads.
What's an iPad?
Fucking garbage. It's not... It would say iPads, not tablets, if it was iPads, I think.
Yeah.
Go on, Gareth.
But either way, yeah. Like, a new Super Meat Boy is fucking news that I could...
Slaver over.
Yeah. I love that game so much. Best
And it loves
soundtrack,
too,
best
Gareth.
gameplay, incredible feel to the game. And if they can replicate that again, then I'm made in the shade.
which is a northern saying, is it?
Is it?
I've never heard that.
You've never heard the term "made in the shade"?
No,
it doesn't make sense. It's not like one of those sayings
no sense.
where straight away you just think, "Yep, I know what that guy's going on about."
Okay, well, apparently that's a northern thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Would you like to tell us what it means?
It means that you're you're doing so well that you're someplace tropical, sitting under a palm tree. It's like
No, that's probably not what it means.
okay.
It means made in the shade. I would think means that it's so good that they could just make it in the shade like Grand Theft Auto, and it's still going to come into the daylight at some point anyway.
I assumed that it meant that you were conceived by your parents when they were shagging under a tree.
Oh yes,
Made in the shade. Do you want me to look it up?
It's where I imagine Gareth was born and raised under a tree in a feral forest.
Yep.
Right, so while you're looking at that, Gareth, we're going to talk about Activision allegedly trying to acquire the Grand Theft Auto publisher Take-Two. Now, this would be kind of a monopolising move because Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty and World of Warcraft are three of the biggest franchises in gaming history. So if you've got all three of those, you're talking world domination, Don.
You are pretty much. So I hope it doesn't happen. I don't see. I mean, Activision have got loads of money, but then Take-Two have got loads of money. So how much it would actually? What are they offering for it? I have no idea.
2 billion.
Is it 2 billion?
That was
No, that was in 2008 when Electronic Arts. Yeah.
Yeah, when they were evil.
But I mean, Grand Theft Auto's franchise alone has got to be worth 2 billion nowadays. I mean, it's
a license to print money. Literally,
I mean, they sold over $1 billion worth in like 3 weeks or something with GTA 5.
Yes.
So I mean, that was just the first month, and it's now been out for coming up to a year.
I mean, I'm going to buy it again when it comes out in the next gen. So that
I'll be buying it for PS4.
Yeah,
I'll be getting it for PS4 when that comes out. So, Christ,
PS4 just for it.
No, I'm getting a PS4 for
Destiny.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
This is my Destiny.
So that's literally all I'll be playing for.
Well, we could have done all this Grand Theft Auto news all at once because they're going to add new radio content on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're pretty cool.
Switching up the radio stations, which is fair enough. Give us some
which is good because music in games is very important. I don't know what else they would add, to be honest, because it's very much of a time, isn't it? And the whole rap scene and things like that. So it'd be interesting to see if they can add, I don't know, Pinky and Perky. just some really funny songs that we can all enjoy.
I like My Girl Wants to Party All the Time, and that comes on quite a lot.
How's that go?
Eddie Murphy, My Girl Wants to Party All the Time. Party all the time, party all the time.
Eddie Murphy.
My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
The comedian.
The comedian.
Yes.
When did he do a song?
In like the 80s, at the height of his fame.
I think he's joking with us, Don.
I'm not. I'm 100% not. You can look it up.
Yanking our collective chains.
Do you want me to play it for you?
I would love it if you played it in.
I would love you to play it in, but I don't think. I think his music section's way too highbrow for anything like that to come through.
Actually, yeah, I probably shouldn't play just a straight up famous song. Well, yeah, Eddie Murphy. My girl wants to party all the time.
Well, I'll have to look that up in my spare time.
It's in the game. You heard it if you played the game. Oh, you friggin'...
Getting it for PS4. It's not out yet.
But we'll be sure.
I also like...
I want to get it even more now.
They have a Mystique song in that game. And that
Mystique, put him on shit!
That always makes me laugh. Because Mystique haven't been around for years over here. But in America, it's like... novel.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Right, so... that pretty much sums up the news, unless you've got any breaking news that's coming out.
The phrase "made in the shade" possibly comes from a children's rhyme. Ice cold lemonade, made in the shade, stirred with a spade by an old maid.
No,
that's definitely references to shagging under trees.
Yeah,
that's references to your parents going.
You calling my mum an old maid?
Oh, too
dude.
soon. But the thing is, Gareth, that's got nothing to do with the saying, and you've not really told us what the saying meant anyway.
It's like, it's a good thing, isn't it? Oh, made in the shade. It's like...
You mean made up is what it's kind of, I suppose.
Yeah.
Whereas when you say made, we think
you people want to take made in the shade and just chop it in half and pervert it for your own uses, then I guess you can do that.
Well, there we go. That was the news this week.
Butchered.
Gareth, thank you very much for joining us.
What? Am I going?
Exactly. No, you're not. You're going to stay right here with us for our next period of the show called Figure Talk.
What?
We are fantastic enthusiasts of collecting action figures, specifically play arts. And this week, Don has ordered himself the Metal Gear Rising Raiden, White Raiden, because he's racist. And how did you find it, Don? How was the posability?
It was good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. It's my first actual proper play arts Kai figure. It's pretty beefy. It's got a quite heavy weight to it. It's pretty well put together. It's very nice, very posable. Everything kind of clicks firmly. It's nice.
What about the paintwork?
Yeah, that's done really nicely, actually. It's a pretty decent job. Not like some stuff where you get them where all the paint is just splashed across different parts of it.
You look at these figures and you think to yourself, if only I had figures like this when I was younger. I was looking at some of the crap that I used to play with, sort of the Bucky O'Hare figures, Batman the movie figures. They're just lumps of just horribleness. But I loved them back in the day, and they really did bring out my creativity. What about you, Gareth? Have you received any Play Arts Kai in the post?
Not recently. I do own a figure from not a game, but a movie of a game.
And which one is that?
I own a figure of Neo Bahamut from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Oh, is that the one that doesn't move? It's just moulded, isn't it?
I think its arms do move, but why would you move its arms? Like,
I don't know.
Go up and down.
People like me and Don, we like that full posability where we're free to just, in our glass cabinets, pose them the way that we see fit.
Sounds a bit perverse.
Thank you. And that is it for Figure Talk this week. Figure Talk. Figure Talk. Figure Talk.
Oh my god.
Figure Talk.
Hi listeners, it's video game music time with me, Gareth. This week's song is a catchy one, if not a particularly good piece of music, shall we say. There's a bit of an insult, but it's not really. It's from the game Deadly Premonition, which a lot of you will know is sort of a B-movie type game, had bad graphics, kind of bad gameplay, but it's still kind of a cult classic. A lot of people actually really like it. And the music I've picked from it it's weird. The game's sort of a horror game, but this music isn't indicative of that at all. So just something to brighten up your day. This is from Deadly Premonition, and it's Life is Beautiful.
So last week we didn't have a game show, but this week we're back with the game show. For those of you that are just listening for the first time, where have you been all my life? But let me just tell you what goes on. We are children of the 80s, aren't we, Gareth?
Just.
And growing up in the 90s, game shows were a big, big deal. And here on Gamecentral Lives, we like to take those game shows and adapt them into our own little way, but using games as an inspiration. We've done catchphrase. We've done... What else have we done?
We haven't done catchphrase.
You couldn't really do catchphrase. It's a visual medium.
Yeah, it's very visual.
But we'll try and do it.
We've done Name That Tune.
Name That Tune. Brilliant.
We've done...
Countdown.
We have done Countdown.
We've done quite a few, and we've done so many we can't even think. That's how many we've done. But this week, we're going to be looking through the pee hole. Hello, and welcome to Through the Pee Hole, the show that visits the places of famous gaming characters. But who gets the honour of going into these houses? That's right, it's Floyd Grossout. But before we get on with the show, what's it all about? Using our master thief, Floyd Grossman, we are able to invade the vacant homes of some of today's and yesterday's greatest gaming stars. Some of them give consent to us filming around their abodes, and others, as you will see, are not so welcoming. But welcoming or not, Floyd gets the job done. So without any more ado, let's go through the pee hole. And today we have two wonderful guests. One from the north and one from the south. First up is Gareth Williams.
Hello.
Hello, Gareth. Nice of you to join us today.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. And Don Goss from London.
Hello.
Hello there, Don. Nice to see you. You're smaller than I would have thought.
No, I'm just further away.
Than Gareth.
Indeed.
Okay, so let's join Floyd Grossout, and your guys' job is to watch Floyd as he makes his way around the gaming celebrities' houses. Then we'll come back to you and find out what you think it is from the clues that Floyd has pointed out. Who lives in a house like this? Over to you, Floyd Grossout. So this is the first house. It's absolutely beautiful, and you can see straight away lots of different photos on the wall of far-fetched locations spanning across the globe. It really is a sight to behold. Over on the mantelpiece, we see lots of fine china. They look quite old and could be pretty much priceless. You could say they're smashing. Let's just hope they don't. Haha, fantastic. So on through to the kitchen, and you can see that this person takes great pride in their health, as the fridge is full to the brim with all kinds of fruit and vegetables. There is even a separate compartment for Yakult to keep a healthy digestive system. Let's head upstairs. This is the master bedroom, and again we can see relics attached to the walls. They are attached securely. Let's just look in this drawer to see if there's anything inside. Fresh, clean underwear. This person is very well organized, but unfortunately they are of no interest to me. The wardrobe is full of tank tops and shorts with boots down the bottom. This person likes adventure. The bathroom is where this person's personality really shines through. There is a bearskin rug on the floor and a wicker wash basket overflowing with dirty washing. Oops, I accidentally knocked it over. I better get down on my knees and pick it up. Wow, these are great. Some shorts with dirt on them, blood on his vest, and these knickers. Someone has been on a long expedition. Just put them back there. Then we have the gymnasium. This person really likes to work out and practice on strength and agility. So I ask you at home, whose house is this? Now, for those of you at home, let's see whose house it was. If you don't want to know, close your eyes now or blind yourself with bleach. I couldn't care less. So, guys, do you have any idea whatsoever whose house that could be?
Well, I've got a few ideas.
I know you've got a few ideas, Don, but if you could be as concise as possible, maybe going through the clues as you go through it.
Going through the clue, with the whole washing thing, I'm going to say... I'd be tempted to say that would be a man, because there's a load of dirty washing lying around, and girls wouldn't generally do that. But with the whole... the interest that was paid to particular garments, I don't know, I don't think... I think maybe, actually, this might be a woman on this occasion.
Well, there you go. The audience are clapping there. Seems like we're on the right course there.
Hey.
I disagree.
Gareth? Oh, interesting.
You
disagree with the audience who actually know who it is. Fantastic.
They could be bluffing, you never know.
You never know.
I think... Should we just say who we think it is?
Go ahead, Gareth. Shorten the show. It's up to you.
I think it's Link from Legend of Zelda. You know, loads of adventuring. You said there's some pots around. You hope you don't smash them. And Link's pretty famous for A, smashing pots, and B, being in Super Smash Brothers. So I think those are the clues I'm focusing on. I think it's Link.
And Don, how about you?
I think there's a lot of red herrings in this particular house. It could go two ways, but I'm going to go the other way, down the other path from Gareth. I'm going to say this is probably a more female-oriented adventurer. I'm going to go with Lara Croft.
I don't know what made you say that, Don, but as we can see, it is indeed Lara Croft.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant that she's with us here today, just to show her face. She's in the studio. She's come all the way here just to smile to the camera, and now she'll be going home again. Okay,
we'll wash him when she gets there.
That's weird. So, on to house number 2. Over to you, Floyd Grossheld. Well, hello, and welcome to the second house of the show today. As you can see, this is a pretty dark street, quite unsettling if you ask me. The doors open with a quiet creak that could do with some oiling. Most of the lights are out and it's quite cold in here. There doesn't seem to be any electricity as the lights do not work, and of what limited electrical appliances there are, none are working. Oh my god! In the corner there is an old definition standard television. This is truly upsetting. There is a game case of it, a game case on top of the TV that simply reads Black Ops. Well, that sounds nice. There's also a map in the corner of the room displayed on the side of the wall talking about how to most frequently glitch on the map and take advantage of some of the rules of the game. There are clothes on the floor of the bedroom, purple Converse, purple jeans, and a purple shirt. It smells faintly of Pringles and faint disappointment. In the bathroom, it's very small, very minimalist with just a bath, and well, I wouldn't call it a toilet, it's more like a dog's bowl. On the sink, there is a book called Dealing with Having Arms. Your guide to feelings of isolation. Hang on. What was that? It sounded like a bump coming from downstairs. Come on, guys, let's go downstairs and have a look. I know we're not told to go down there, but this could be it. We don't know what it is. No, we can't go down. I don't care if we can't go down there. We have to go down there. The contractual agreement. What if someone's down there? Could you live with that? Quick, look. There's someone huddled in the corner. Give me the flashlight of the camera. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Is there anyone there? Oh, it's too dark, I can hardly see anything.
Lloyd Grossard, is that you? I am so glad to see someone. I have been locked down here since attending a podcast party a few months ago. Some guy with long arms and a shit tattoo said to come back with him as he likes to play Monopoly, which is one of my favorite games. Next thing I know, he has 2 fingers in my bumhole. Not that I could feel it, as I lack any sensation from the neck down, but that's beside the point. I told him people would come back for me, but he said he told everyone that I was being used as a turret in Russia to protect a battlefield veteran. I doubt anyone would have believed such a story. You have to help me. Some of the games he has been making me play are awful. Have you ever played Soggy Biscuit with another man sitting face to face just inches away? You have to untie me. He has gone to get a haircut. Shit, it's him. Floyd behind you. Ah shit, no, he has just hit him with a sledgehammer. No, please not me, I can still satisfy you. Oh, he has hit me with an axe in my shoulder. Blood is everywhere and spraying from the wound. I am uncomfortable somewhat, even though I cannot feel it. Shit god, what am I going to do? Floyd, damn you.
Hello, can anyone hear me? Yes, we've lost all contact with the house there. Sorry about this. There seems to be something going on. Does anyone know which house that could be, so we could get the police there as soon as possible? Don?
Wow. Sounds like we've wandered into
on a serious
Silent
note,
Hill.
we do have to get someone there, some sort of police force. And we don't actually know whose house it is, because the person that was supposed to be in the studio today has not actually turned up. He was supposed to, but I hear that he can be quite... you can't really rely on him.
Try, I would say... Maybe give Guy Whitlock's house a try.
Guy, did you hear that? Guy Whitlock. No, Guy Whitlock. Yeah, just if you could send the police round as soon as possible. Okay, we're going to have to end the show there. Thank you everyone for joining in through the pee hole, and we hope to carry on. Guy Whitlock. It's Guy Whitlock. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye. Wow, what a sad ending to a games show there, Gareth. Hopefully everyone's doing all right. Floyd Grossout's okay. Everyone involved in the production of that show. But it must have been quite an experience to be there, Gareth, when you knew the person who actually committed the crimes. Yeah,
well, I mean, the clues were all there. You know, the long arms thing, the black ops, the fact that someone said his name.
Yeah. There you go. That could be a problem, but we're all over it now.
I wonder if that's the last we'll hear of our good friend Maurice. Seemed like he was in a bit of bother.
He was in a bit of bother, but you know, if there's anything we know about Maurice, it's that he's resilient. Well, we've got a few things to just to go through. Gareth, are you looking forward to Drive Club? Oh, why did you just have some sort of release valve?
I was opening a drink that I shook to get some of the gas out.
Oh, yes.
Also, I'm really looking forward to Drive Club.
Is that for any particular reason?
Well, there's not enough golf games out, and I think it'd be nice to...
Different punchline.
Play a new golf game.
Fantastic. Sorry, Don.
I'm saying they're making another Drive Club game already. for PS4 called Hot Shots Golf.
Oh yes, because they know that Gareth is doing free advertising for them.
That's for the people who don't get the joke about Drive Club. You know, it's like they're the same game, but it's like there's Drive Club and then there's Hot Shots Golf for people who don't get it.
Yeah, so it's really an accessible joke, isn't it? And I think what Don did, which was so effective, is he's sort of put a second part onto the joke for those that may not have got it the first time, because maybe they listen week in, week out, and they think, I still haven't got this. I still haven't quite grasped why this joke's so funny. I know it's funny because I'm laughing my head off, pissing myself, but I can't put my finger on why it's making me laugh so much.
Yeah.
And what Don's done there is he's added a kind of another thing that people can relate to, so they can go, hang on a minute, I get it now.
Yep.
Yeah, and like in the shops as well, the front cover for Drive Club's actually going to have a car on it to try and it'll just make the joke even funnier.
Shift units, anything with a car on it speeding through at speed is going to sell bucket loads, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to sell way more than just a game with a golfer on the front.
Yeah.
Even though that's what the game is.
And there we go, Gareth. And that's very nice. That's a really good joke. And maybe... No, it is, Gareth. Don't put yourself down and laugh about it. I think that if people still don't get it next week, we can add another layer on, kind of. So, Don, get thinking about how you can make that joke even more identifiable still.
Don't worry, I'll find an even better way to patronise our listeners. No
Thank you,
worry.
So, Don, if you'd like to go first this week with, what have you been playing?
Bum, bum, bum. This week I have been playing Mario Kart 8 again.
Oh, yes.
It's awesome. Because I have my triple standard TV up now. I plugged it all in. Thought, let's see how good Mario Kart 8 looks. And it looks just as good as it does on a smaller telly. Which is good to know.
Those next-gen graphics.
Yep. They're all sparkly and bright and shiny. And with my new sound system as well, it's even louder, which is always better. Loud equals good when it comes to games.
Sure.
Yep. So just been racing for all that. Finally finished all the 3-starred all the 100cc stuff, and I'm partway through 3-starring all the 150cc stuff. And I've been doing a lot more kind of online racing and matches, because I think what I've worked out is that if all the coins that are collected, every time you collect 100 coins, you unlock either another car or another
coins
glider. It's Mario. He collects coins. Shut up. Yeah.
He loves coins.
And but if you do it on you race online, I think that every coin that gets collected in a race goes towards your total. So you don't just get, I don't know, let's say 50 coins during a race. You end up getting a shitload more, depending on how good the other players are. So you actually end up collecting coins a lot quicker. I think that's what's happening, because I seem to have collected a whole ton more coins a lot quicker than I otherwise would have.
You're playing online?
Yeah. On the line.
What league are you in?
He's really getting into it, isn't he?
What league am I in? I'm in the Gold League, top league.
Really? Because I heard Mario Kart doesn't even track whether you win or lose, so it kind of doesn't even matter.
It didn't used to, but it does now, because there was
really?
There was an update that came out on the 28th of August, which adds the map to your screen. It reorders the menu items for when your next racing starts, so you can choose your next race is the first thing that's selected, rather than playing the replay. And also it has added stats. So it now tells you.
So basically, everything Guy said was wrong with it at the first time.
So it's like an actual game now, then.
It's like Nintendo actually listened to all their feedback and went, yeah, let's do that then, and then added in everything everyone wanted. Amazing. It's almost like they're a games company that kind of gives a shit about its own games.
Yeah, they've understood that people actually want to compete rather than sit down and hold hands.
Yep. And I'm willing to bet at some point in the not too distant future they'll actually add some proper battle mode tracks instead of just using the actual racing tracks they use at the moment. They'll add some actual arenas.
That might be a bit too violent for them, though.
No, you need actual skill to do well in battle mode, so it wouldn't really suit the casual style of this new Mario Kart.
Yeah, whatever. Bronze boy.
Bronze 1! There are 5 levels to bronze, and I'm in the top level. So you don't even know.
What colour is bronze 1 compared to bronze 5? Is it the same colour bronze?
Just like a brighter, shinier bronze, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
A little bit more polish on
Go
that
on,
bronze.
Gareth.
Is it still just bronze though underneath? It is, isn't it?
It's a very, very cheap sort of lacquer that goes over, but if you look hard enough underneath, it's still bronze. And that's what Gareth hates.
Bronze is more precious than copper, which is what coins are made out of. So it's more precious than actual money.
Well, no, because Mario's coins are made of gold, so not really.
Yeah, but you're not in Gold League. I get gold when I play League of Legends. I'm not counting that as me being in gold.
Yeah, when you get there, mate. When you get there. Let's talk about when you get to gold.
When I get there, do you know how much you're going to hear about it?
Well, I look forward to that day in 2085.
And we all congratulate you, Gareth.
Yeah.
I'll be really pleased for you, but unfortunately, my corpse will be long dead, so...
I'm proud of you, and I'm going to let you finish, but is that what you're saying?
His corpse will be long dead, so he'll be dead, and his corpse will be dead.
My corpse will have died, that's
how long it was going to be. He's going to die,
mm-hmm.
and then through the future of technology, his corpse is going to be reanimated, and then that's going to die, and then you'll get to gold.
Dream. Can't wait.
There you go.
If we just speed up this death process, then that'd be really appreciative.
Oh, yes.
So, Gareth, what have you been playing? That's all I've been playing. Mario Kart.
That's
so
it.
You've got a massive new TV, and all you've been doing is playing Mario Kart.
Well, yeah. I didn't actually set up until the weekend.
That's like getting a Blu-ray of like a film from the 60s.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I put on Halo 4 for like 20 minutes.
That counts.
Not really. I just put it on because the disc was in the drive at the time, just to test it out.
You do know when you get your PlayStation 4, the Wii U is going to collect dust.
Well, it's possible. For that week of Destiny's release when I'm off work for a whole week because of Destiny.
Oh, yes.
Pretty much it will be all Destiny all the time. So, yeah the Wii U will take a bit of a back.
And you are going to be the online correspondent for Destiny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to own that.
So, there we go. Just like during sex, I will be going after Don, and then Gareth will be getting sloppy seconds with the splashback. Right, so...
Story of my life.
I don't understand how people can do that, though, Gareth.
What? Enter somewhere that's already been entered?
Yeah, especially... Well, there's a specific type of porn called cum dumpster.
Oh, God.
And basically, guys...
Jesus Christ.
They ejaculate. So a guy will go ejaculate, and then another guy will come in, ejaculate, another guy will, and then ejaculate. And I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just saying that's just awful. Just edit that out, Gareth.
Most of that.
Yeah, no, just
it'd be funnier if I bleep loads.
And just have like and bleep, 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 and bleep, bleep. Then it comes out.
Yeah.
So just bleep most of it. That'd be really good. Right. So what have I been playing now? This is strange because, well, I am strange, but I'm playing mostly this week. I've been playing an iOS game.
What?
I know, because it's totally not me. It's a football game, and what it is it's in the old style of Football Manager. Do you remember when it used to just have writing that used to scroll up and down? Did you ever play Football Manager?
I played Football Manager, but not less recent than the past 10 years.
Yeah, but anyway, the older champ managers used to basically just be sort of scrolling text, like, oh, Anelka comes towards the ball, he hits the ball hits the post.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And then, if there's like a goal, it will flash up, goal, what an excellent goal. And it's kind of like that, but you start off and you only play as one player. And you start off at 17, and you start off at a low league team. And every now and then, the control will switch to you. And what you've got to do is kind of use the touchscreen to make a pass or shoot. And it's so simplistic, but it really, like Borderlands and stuff like that, it really sort of goes into that reward, being constantly rewarded. And at the end of the game, you'll get stars, which you can use. And I know it's that thing I spoke about before about these downloadable games where you feel like you're just edges away from defeat because you refuse to buy loads of coins. Basically, I could do in-app purchases which would really help me buy the best boots, the best trainers, the best physios, and basically just be really good at the game. But I'm struggling through it because I refuse to make any in-app purchases. And I don't know if that is, doing it to my detriment, but I am enjoying it, and I don't know what it is about it. There's a certain type of game that just hooks me, and it's that really bite-sized, rewarding chunks of gameplay, and it's really good. It's like I'm playing it now, and you can hear the sound effect. Look at that.
I don't think
you've
not actually said what the game's called yet.
I don't know what it's called. It's it's called NSS, which I don't even know what that stands for.
Something Superstar Soccer or some shit, I would imagine.
But New Star Soccer, that's it.
Okay.
And the reason I saw it is because in Games TM there was 100 top free apps and this free games, and this was like really high on it, and it's just so good. And you play it. Some of your teammates have arranged a golf tournament. If you take part, it will improve your relationship, but cost you 25% energy.
Wait, is it also a dating game?
Yeah. So it's like it's got some of the Sims in it as well, where you have to keep your happiness and your girlfriend pleasured. You have to keep your teammates happy, your sponsors, and I know that because I'm not buying in-game purchases, purchasing stars and stuff that you can use as sort of funding, that I'm kind of bracing myself and I'm not getting the most out of it that I can, and maybe I should put a little bit of money towards it because I'm enjoying it, but at the same time I'm enjoying the challenge, and it's kind of to spite myself. I'm saying, you bloody bastard game, I'm going to destroy you because I'm really good at games. I'm not a casual gamer that comes along, and I'm going to beat you using no money whatsoever. And so you go through to a game. I'm playing Everton, and it's basically just this. Just headed the ball. Did you hear that? And then the fans cheer because I just passed the ball. Now here I am on the edge of the box. Am I going to go for a shot? I am. Guess what happened, guys?
Did you miss?
There's a streaker on the pitch.
I scored, and Spurs have just scored as well, which is upsetting. So I'm going to pass it to my striking teammate. Oh, it's an assist. I got an assist straight away. So straight away, Spurs have just scored.
What? This game's like 30 seconds in, it's already 4 goals.
No, it's 3-2 to Everton, which are the team that I'm playing. It's now half time, guys.
Oh,
now,
okay.
As you can see, it goes very fast. You can play it in a slower way, but I like it to be quick, fast and furious. So we're going to continue to the second half here. Here we go. Spurs, it's easier. Spurs have levelled, so I'm going to play more attacking now. So I'm attacking. Am I going to shoot or am I going to pass it to my teammate? The defender's closing me in. I've just crossed it. Teammate, and he missed. He hit the post. Oh my God. 60 minutes. Walker wants to attack. I've gone on to a more attacking mentality now. Full time, 3-3. So then after the game, you get your thing. So I've had 4 chances, 1 goal, and now I'm getting +2 relationship with my boss, +2 relationship with my team, and +1 with the fans. So you get that kind of feedback, and it's interesting, and you kind of have to balance it. And the more you attack in a game, you have to balance it out because you'll lose a lot more stamina, and then you have to buy more energy drinks, which is obviously one of the big cons, but they get you to want to buy money. But you get your weekly wages after every game and how you performed. But it's a really good game, and I think if you like that sort of old Championship Manager style, and I've been sitting there on the sofa playing it when I've got FIFA sitting in front of me. So that is a big, and it's really the only sort of, I would say, like iOS game that I've got into before. I don't really play like Angry Birds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's so simplistic, and it sort of goes back to them days where I used to play on the Mega Drive, and it used to be sort of bird's eye view of World Cup Italia 90 and that. And a lot of it was to do with your imagination and your brain filling in the gaps, which I think a lot of games miss out on nowadays, where they're so obvious, they're so blatant, there's nothing left for your imagination to do. And I remember playing a lot of games like that where you would kind of use your imagination to fill in the blanks of what was going on. And I think that's why when we look back at those games, they look worse, and they sort of talk about rose-tinted specs because in our minds we filled in a lot of the blanks, and it was our minds. We looked through it through our mind's eye rather than what we actually saw.
Okay.
So
it does actually sound pretty good. Like the reason I sort of have fallen out of love with Football Manager games in the past few years is because it's such a time sink.
Yeah.
Like to get into a game like where your players are actually playing takes a bit of a load, and then the match actually takes probably like 15 minutes depending on how exciting the match is.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's such a time commitment. But like, I was kind of thinking the game you were playing sounded a bit lame until you managed to play an entire match in about 30 seconds, and I was like, actually,
yeah, you can do it like when
good.
you're on the bus. Yeah, and
that's what you want.
Yeah, I think that's what you want from a game like that. And it is addictive because, like I say, you get rated after every game, and your stats go up, and your relationship with the fans and your teammates, everything's affected in how you perform in that game. And I think that's the addiction of it, is that you know that straight away there's going to be consequences, which doesn't normally happen in games. And I think that makes a successful game in that you're constantly getting feedback on how you're doing, and everything you're doing, like, you know that it's probably not wise that you shoot, that you pass to the person next to you, but you know that if you take the shot and score, then you're going to be instantly rewarded with more stars and stuff like that. And it's just a really good and well-balanced game and how they do it. And it's not like some games where it's completely blocked off to you until you start buying in-app purchases. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And I haven't really played anything else. I've just gone back to Borderlands 2 with the downloadable content. Ghosts! Oh my god, I played Ghosts, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Shit.
And it shows you how underwhelmed I was by the fact that it just nearly completely slipped my mind. Now, Ghosts, okay, I was speaking last week about how good Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 as campaigns are.
Yeah,
and
both agreed.
Modern Warfare 3, I was playing that again, and my heart was beating the moment where you have to save the Russian president, and then you've got to get out of that mine, and just... It's a fantastic game, and like I said, it's a shame that Respawn, previously Infinity Ward, didn't choose to do a story-led game as their next one. And I hope they don't go directly on to Titanfall 2, which I feel maybe they will do, because they're so talented, and it's only when you play other games like Battlefield and Ghosts that you realise how tight those campaigns are. And I hope you get round to doing it one day, Gareth, playing Modern Warfare 3, because the feedback, and it gets your heart pumping in a way no other game does, because it's pure action. And I'm not saying you're going to sit there for 5 hours playing it, but maybe for an hour at a time, you just feel like you're the guy and you're brilliant. And the problem with Ghosts is that it shows you that it was Infinity Ward, and it was their skill and their writing and their pacing, and the whole grand scale of things when you and Price are going after the bad guy, and you go into the castle and you start off by rigging all the C4 under the trucks, and then you go in there and it's quite quiet, and then you have to break out at the end. That's fantastic. But Ghosts, it's kind of like a straight-to-video release, if it was to be something like that. You know, it's like Kickboxer 3. It's like, you know, if you used to get those brilliant films
like Aladdin 3.
Yeah, like Kickboxer, or you got The Little Mermaid 2 and stuff like that. Films that no one's ever really seen. They loved the first ones, but no one really wanted to watch The Lion King 3. You know, and no one did. And it's like that, you know, it's so flat, it's so... You get into an area and it gets flooded by enemies. And I don't know what it is that makes the Infinity Ward one so special for me. I don't know if it's the pacing, it's the music as well. You realise in Ghosts that there's not enough music. There's not a lot of music to really... And Modern Warfare is so grand in its music, the orchestral scores. And it builds up with it starts off slowly. And as the enemies start coming in, it starts picking up pace. And by the end of it, when there's rocket launchers and everything flying, it's a grand orchestral score. You know, and you really do appreciate it. And after talking last week, I played Modern Warfare 3, and I was really judging it by the way that the music and the action was really in sync with each other. And I think that was the problem with Ghosts, is that I felt that I was playing a kind of Battlefield game. It had that kind of detachment from it, that you felt that you were just in a shooting gallery, and which I think is a lot of games that first-person shooters fall into. They try to give emotion, like with Riley the dog, but by the end of it, you don't really care, and they put so much importance on it. But yeah, it is. It's like a straight-to-video Call of Duty, the Call of Duty that got left behind. And with Advanced Warfare, I think they've really got to go back and realise that, the campaign is important for some people. Especially for me, I will buy Advanced Warfare just for the single player. And there's a lot of people out there that will as well. And I think a lot of people were burned by Ghosts, because even Black Ops 1 and 2 were quite interesting, their stories.
Yeah,
they
really
tried
cool.
to do something different. But
the numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it all comes together at the end, you're like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. But Ghost doesn't try anything like that. It's very straight down the middle, straight down the line. The Ghosts are apparently they're really revered soldiers amongst other soldiers, and they're like a secret unit. And apparently there's this thing called the Federation, where all the kind of other countries formed an alliance and cut America off. And it's one of those stories where, towards the end, you forget what it is you're actually doing in the first place. And I think a lot of games have that problem, don't they? In that they're not like films where they're an hour to 2 hours long, where you can follow the narrative. Sometimes you can go 2 days without playing it, and then you come back, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Who am I supposed to be rescuing? Who's that person? I don't know. And I don't think these games are good enough in their storytelling to keep you hooked and keep you focused and interested in the story. It's kind of like it's amateur storytelling in the end. But yeah, I played Ghosts. I probably wouldn't even recommend it for £20 really. I think you're looking at the £12 bracket. I think it's definitely the weakest in the Call of Duty series in terms of single player. So I think for that is just go out and get the Modern Warfare 1, 2 and 3 set done.
Yep. I shall avoid the Ghosts.
There you go. Who are you going to call?
Modern Warfare 4.
Yes. Hopefully. But that's what I want. I want Infinity Ward to... Yeah, they're good at multiplayer shooting, multiplayer gaming, but they're also brilliant at telling single-player stories, and I don't think that they got enough praise for what they did during that time. But they really are... They're really gifted when it comes to that sort of story-driven and pace. And so there you go, Gareth.
There you go.
And what has Gareth been playing this week?
What have I been playing this week? This week, I played a game that's on Steam Early Access called Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Wow.
Sounds exciting.
I played the...
That sounds sarcastic.
It well did.
Yeah.
I played some music from it as last week's music section.
That was cool.
Yeah, so that
sounded sarcastic.
That's just my natural tone of voice. It's like my natural resting face looks slightly disinterested. But it's not. It's just how I look and sound naturally.
Okay, so you are interested. Let's just get out of the way.
Yeah. So it's a roguelike, which basically means every time you die, you have to start again from the start. And the dungeon that you're in is randomized, so you'll never play the same dungeon twice. You don't know what to expect. And it's also a rhythm game. So you can only perform an action on the beat of the music.
Oh, has it got a dance mat?
You can use the dance mat.
Oh, no. I was joking. And you
There's a dance mat mode.
Brilliant.
So your only buttons are up, down, left and right. And you can only move on the beat. So it sounds like it'd be really simple, but there's actually like a surprising amount of depth to it. Like you can pick up spells and different items and stuff, so they'll be mapped to like down and left. If you press those at the same time, you'll drop a bomb, for example.
Dangerous.
So you get into a situation where, because you can only move on the beat and so can the enemies, you're like, boom, boom, boom. You're having to make decisions like literally split second. Like, you have to do something twice every second. You can stand still, but you'll lose your coin multiplier. And basically,
you don't want to lose your coin multiplier.
Yeah, you want coins because that's how you make your
Oh,
character
now you
better
want
for your
coins. Yeah, you were all like, Mario Kart 8, coins.
Yeah, you should have just dismissed them, Gareth. No, I don't want none of that.
Now you're all about the coins. Yeah.
I'm all about the coins in a game where they're appropriate, not some racing game.
Coins.
because you own, like, once you die, you start from scratch. So every run you want to get as beefy as possible, as quickly as possible.
Mm.
So it's really important to keep your coin multiplier up. Think of it as like your score multiplier in Guitar Hero, The more notes you play well, the higher your score multiplier. It's the same principle. So if you're keeping on the beat perfectly, killing enemies perfectly on the beat, then you'll get more coins for killing them. So it's a very good feedback loop of like, up, down, 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 right, I attack this enemy, right, I attack this enemy, it's dead.
That's a good
Get
song,
the coins.
actually.
But what makes it is the music. The music's by the same guy who does the Super Meat Boy music. And
oh dear.
What?
You're sold there then, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 100% sold.
You would have just bought it for the soundtrack.
Almost. The guy's name is Darren Baronovsky, and he is incredible. I mean, the music I played last week, if that wasn't enough to convince you that this game is awesome,
then
there's something wrong with you. But no, it's very, very hard because there's like tons of enemies, and each one has its own like pattern and animation. So, like, for example, there's a skeleton that'll put its arms up in the air, and then on the next beat, it'll jump forward a square, and then it'll stand still for a beat. Then the next beat, arms up, then it'll jump forward a square. So when you see its arms up, you don't want to be on the square next to it, because it's going to jump at you and hit you and do damage.
So you basically, it's split second, isn't it, really, and forward planning.
Yeah, so it's very much like, skeleton's arms are up, I need to move away. He jumps forward, skeleton's arms are down, jump towards him, attack. But all that happens in like 1 second.
Yeah.
And the skeleton's probably the easiest enemy. I'm at a point now where, because it is in alpha, the game's not finished, there's only 3 zones available. But I'm at the point now where you think like, I've beat zone 2, let's get on to zone 3, see what zone 3 is all about. You start off and there's like 9 enemies on the screen, none of which you've ever seen before. After like 3 beats, all the enemies have done somewhat mental, and you're like, oh my god, I have no idea what I'm even facing. So you get to a point where, like, for a fact you're gonna die, but you start on that level just to sort of die to an enemy to see how it moves and how you have to react to it.
Yeah, to see its attack pattern. Yeah. So everything's kind of like a boss from an old school game.
Almost, yeah. I mean, it does have bosses. One of the bosses is a chessboard.
Yeah.
Where every beat it'll move a different chess piece. And all the chess pieces move in the same direction that a normal chess piece would. So if you imagine you're on a grid, on a chessboard, and you're moving forward every beat, if you move to a diagonal of a pawn, because pawns can only take diagonally, they'll attack you. So it helps that I know what all the pieces do in chess.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's a really fun boss battle, because it's like having to realise that a knight can attack you with its L shape in a quarter of a second is like
scary.
It proper gets your brain going.
Yeah.
And the game, I mean, it's still in alpha. It's not even in beta. You can get it on Steam Early Access now for £11. 17 if you want the soundtrack with it, but the soundtrack's on YouTube anyway, so probably wait before you get the soundtrack. But yeah,
just take the money off of your favourite composer. Go on, Gareth.
In fairness, I will buy it eventually.
Oh, that's nice of you.
But, I just want to wait until he's done with it, because the thing is, he keeps updating the music. So, for example, level 3. had one track, and then he updated the soundtrack, and now level 3 has 2 different tracks.
Yeah.
So, like, depending on where you are in the level, there's like a rock version and like a sort of a club version. You know, like you would hear in that club. You know, with all the hard house. You know how it is, yo.
Yeah. I love the.
So depending on where you are in the level, the music changes. It's the same music, but it changes genres. So that's really interesting. If he does more of that in the game, it could get really cool. But yeah. So whereas that level just had one track before, now it's got 2. So you know, I don't want to go all in on a soundtrack before I even know what songs are going to be like. But yeah, like I was so impressed with this game. Like it's hard as balls because of the decision making you're having to make each second. And the pattern recognition needed to realise what like the 7 enemies on the screen are going to do on the next beat. It's literally like, you know, it's like your reactions have to be so on point and your decision making has to be flawless. Otherwise, you're just dead as fuck. So that's like actually really fun. Plus, it's just an incredible concept. Like you can play it with a dance mat if you have one, which is insane. But it's genius.
Bringing the dance mat back.
And I foresee a Twitch channel opening up.
Oh, God.
Fish played Crypt of the next Necrodancer.
that wouldn't ever be possible. But yeah, I'm incredibly impressed. If this game gets fully released before the end of the year, it's like guaranteed for me, probably like top 3 games of the year.
There we go.
So impressed with it. Can't recommend it highly enough.
I'll pick that up when it comes out on a console.
Oh,
Wii U.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd work quite as well on a console. Because, like I said, you know, all the spells are mapped to like 2 buttons at once. So, for example, you know, just normal attack is like there's a skeleton on the square next to you. You press towards the skeleton with your dagger, you'll attack it. But there's stuff you can get where, like, for example, one of the weapons is a shotgun, which will attack like the square next to you, the 3 next to that, and then the 5 next to that, in like a pyramid almost. Yeah. But you have to reload it in between shots, and you do that by pressing up and down at the same time. So I don't know how that would work on a console and have the same effect, because it's like, you know, you're moving each beat. One beat you attack an enemy, the next you have to press up and down at the same time to reload. Otherwise you don't have any weapon for that beat. So it's like you need to constantly, and that's, you know, I've played that game like probably like 6 hours in the past week. I've only found that weapon twice, so I've probably played with that weapon for a total of like 10 minutes. So it's like training your brain to think in a different way, because that's like the only weapon where you have to really think like that. Is really challenging and really fun, because all of a sudden you need to worry about reloading in between enemies, and it will hit multiple enemies at once, but like if there's an enemy in the square that you can attack and you press towards it, you will just shoot the shotgun. Like you can't choose not to move, you can't choose to move and not shoot if you have the shotgun.
Yeah.
So it's
cool.
It's decision making and fun and engaging, and it's just Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's on Steam Early Access. It's fucking awesome. One of the best games I've played this year.
There we go. You must have played other games, Gareth. Was that taking up your time?
I mean, I played my daily allotment of League of Legends.
Don't worry about a game.
A game?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what this is.
Not a torture device.
No, that's pretty much it.
I bet you play it with pegs attached to your nipples.
Well, yeah. I mean...
That's what comes in the box with it.
It doesn't come in a box. It's free. Download it on the internet.
You can't say that because that's illegal.
No.
Okay.
Oh dear. I think we need to get you some form of computer, Rob.
I've got some form of computer.
No, he just fills up with viruses and going through porn sites. There's no...
That is true.
Oh, yes. Well, there we go. has been a great podcast. Gareth, tell people about a website that you run.
A website that I run?
Yeah.
Gamebanter.co.uk is where you can find every single one of our old episodes. iTunes and other podcast apps will only inform you of the last 30, which is a lot. But if you want to catch up on like the earliest episodes, Gamebanter.co.uk has every single episode archived. Also, if you follow my website on Twitter at Gamebanter, you'll know when every single episode of the podcast comes out and when. And also hear my ramblings. And we really appreciate if you review us on iTunes. It gets our profile higher and helps us out a lot.
Even if you sometimes think, you know what, when I get home from work, I am going to write a review, and you don't. And, it's one of those things that people do. And, with all the best intentions, they think they're going to do it. They might forget, or they think, oh, it's so hard. But it's not hard, is it, Gareth?
No, man. We give you multiple hours of entertainment a week.
Yeah.
It's the least you can do.
Gareth.
Yeah.
Give me a review right now. Go.
I like this podcast now that guy twat has gone.
Brilliant. There you go. See?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's that easy.
That easy. Okay then. So fantastic. Don, have you got any pressing announcements to make?
No.
Fantastic. So that has been episode number 33. I've been Rob Walker and I've been joined today by Gareth Williams and Don Goss. So from us, until next week, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Bye.
Get out.
Bye.
Get out of my house.
Goodbye. Bye.
Now for my new piece that I've been thinking about trying. It's a bit controversial, but I think you guys will enjoy it. It's called What is Robert Eating? Listen. God, I dropped it on the keypad. Right, there we go. What was I eating?
Spaghetti?
Nope.
You're eating a Cooper. It's turtle soup.
Nope, it's not. And that's going to be rolled over. And next week, hopefully, we'll try and have another go at working out what it was. So that's going to be another little regular thing. Sorry. Now, when like on radio shows, when they roll it through until someone gets it right, so they'll do celebrity voices.
Yep.
And they'll all be cut up, and then they have to say which celebrity voice it is. I thought that this would be really good to kind of run as a main theme throughout our show, like a real selling point.
I won a contest like that on the radio once.
Oh, no, you didn't?
Yes, I did. It wasn't like for any decent prize. It was on a Rock Radio Manchester, and the prize was some drumsticks.
Great.
And normally they have it like roll over to other days. Yeah. But it was like the first day, and I guessed it like straight away.
Was it one of them things that go like... Gareth, what were those 4 songs that you heard there?
No, it was like they played like a 1 second bit from a song.
Yeah.
And it was from Hit Me With Your Best Shot, which is on Guitar Hero 3.
There you go.
I knew that song like inside and out from playing Guitar Hero. So they played just a little bit of the song like from the solo. So it didn't sound like the normal song, but I knew it from that song because of Guitar Hero. So I rung up and I was like, "Just hit me with your best shot." And they were like, this is meant to last us like all week.
It just destroyed all of our content.
Yeah, so I want some drumsticks.
Do you still have those 2 pieces of wood now?
Yeah, I've still got wood. Yeah.
Oh, yes.